Hi, in our previous video, we have covered overview of resource group, activity log, access control, tags, and events. And now we will discuss about the settings which are there under the resource group. When you click on Quick Start, it will have some sort of links for resource group documents and video introduction to resource group, get the tools, so you can have some sort of tools, be PowerShell, client libraries, and many more templates. By using this quick start, you can go through the guides which are needed for your requirements. Right. So we have got an option deployments. When you click on deployments, it will display the list of resources which were deployed on your resource group. So all these resources was deployed the way back in the year 2019, and you'll see the status of those deployments, whether it is a virtual machine and what was the time and the time taken to deploy those resources by using automation control, and we've got multiple resources. So by using these deployments, you can track each and every event, each and every resource which was deployed under this resource group. However, when you go through this overview option, you'll have only specific resources. Though all the resources under this resource group was deleted, you'll still see that under this deployment section. So all the historical information will still be there to make sure and to understand whatever the resources that was there on this resource group, right? And the next option we have got is policies, which is very crucial for each and every enterprise to make sure that your subscription has got 100% compliance based on your business principles. Let's say, I'll give an example. Your let's say your organization has a policy. Let's say let's say your organization has a policy, and the policy is like this: only administrators who are managing the subscription should be a part of administrators group on all the virtual machines, on all the servers which are hosted in this Azure subscription. But for some reason, for some requirements, AD admin has enabled access to multiple users who are not the actual administrators. It means it is a violation. It is a compliance violation. He or she should not enable access to administrators group. When you enable access to administrators group, strangers can have access to this subscription, and they can manipulate, or they can delete, or they can let it be a known issue, or knowingly or unknowingly he or she might delete the resources, might change the resources who are not authorized to do so, because of which your resource compliance score will get reduced. So in order to avoid such kind of policy via issues, we have got policies option. You can apply policies on your subscription. It means when you assign a policy, by default it will generate an alert, or it will show you on this page based on the policy that you're going to deploy. We have got predefined policies, some hundreds of policies in this Azure subscription. On each and every subscription you'll have policies. You can assign policies based on your requirement, or else you can create a custom policy. So when you click on assign policy, and you can exclude resources as well. It means if you want to if you want to exclude a specific resource from this policy, yes, you can do that as well. Let's look for policy definition, and we have got 480 predefined policies. And let's see, audit virtual machines without disaster recovery configured. So when you enable this particular policy, it will audit virtual machines where there is no DR, which is disaster recovery configured. Azure backup should be enabled for virtual machines. This is a policy again. If you enable this, all the virtual machines should be enabled with backup. Otherwise, it is a policy violence, a compliance violence. I mean, compliance violation, policy violation. So we should be very careful when you're defining the policies based on your standards. You can also define custom policies from this policy section. So let's say SQL managed instance TDA protector should be encrypted with your own key. So it should, and you should use your own key to encrypt your database for SQL managed instance, right? Likewise, we've got a different policies. When you apply this policy, deploy log analytics agent for Linux VMs, this will deploy a log analytics agent for Linux VMs. So it all depends on your business requirements. If you want to deploy log analytics agent for Windows VMs, you've got this option. Configure backup on VMs of a location in to an existing central vault in the same location. So by default, when you enable this option, it will trigger or it will configure a backup to this vault on the same location, right? So the private endpoint should be enabled for MariaDB servers. Kubernetes management policy. So there are a lot of policies you can have to make you clear. I have given explanation for 2 or 3 policies, and you can search for your policies as well. If not, we have got custom policies. For as of now, there are no custom policies defined on this subscription. So if you want to define custom policies, there is a different way where you can define based on the parameters and the resources that you need to apply for a specific policy, right? You can provide assignment name and you can enforce policies to all the servers or all the resources under this subscription. So policies are subscription based, not a resource group based, but still you can exclude some resources. When you apply, it will be applied on all the resource groups and on all the resources under the subscription. If you want to exclude, we have got an option to exclude resources like this. When you click on this, it will show all the resources. As of now, we have got only one resource, which is backup vault on this subscription, right? It will clearly show the subscription resource group and optionally choose a resource. If you have got multiple resources which needs to be excluded from policies, you can go ahead and uncheck all those options. I mean, to filter all the resources on the resource group, right? So once you're done with this, and then we have got parameters, remediation, and then review and create. So you can go ahead and create the resource policy based on your requirement, right? And when you click on remediation, whatever the policy violations that has happened on your subscription, it will all show it will also show the recommendations and the list of resources to remediate based on your defined policies. You can choose the resources from this and then work on those issues based on your predefined policies, right? And we've got overview option, and it will show whether all the resources in your subscription is compliant or not based on the policies. We have an option to choose getting started, and here it has got it has got multiple policies, author definitions, and go to compliance, assign policies. So this is a kind of getting started page where you'll see some sort of documentation links, and then we've got join preview. So there are some new policies which are coming up on this Azure Kubernetes services. If you want to work on your subscription, if you want to get your preview policy on your subscription, you can get this registered on your account. So I don't want to enable this option on my subscription. I'll just stop this. Compliance, as we have seen the overview page, and compliance section is same. Remediation, you have got options to remediate. I mean, it will display the list of resources to remediate. We have got assignments. It means you can assign initiative. You can apply a policy. Let's say select this one, audit Windows VMs in which administrators group does not contain only the specified members. Select this one, and I don't want to exclude anything. Policy enforcement should be there. If you disable this, policy enforcement will not be there. You have to enable it manually. You can see that when enforcement mode is disabled, the policy effect is not enforced. It means this policy will not apply to all the resources on your subscription. So when you click on next, specify parameters for this initiative assignment. It means you need to provide only specific members. Let's say the policy that we have selected is administrator group should have only specific members, otherwise it is a violation. So I have to provide only specific users. Let's say I've got 5 users in my enterprise who has got full permissions and should be part of administrators group. I'll choose only 5 users and I'll provide those 5 users here by providing semicolons. And once you provide those IDs, click on next and managed identity location. So we are not working on this as of now, it is still in preview state, so I'm not going to discuss about this. Create managed identity, and previous section, review and create, provide members and then review and create. If you want to go for managed identity, you can still proceed with this option, and this identity will be giving the following permissions. So I don't have any remediation task. If you want to enable remediation task, you can use this one. I don't want to give anything. It has to show me that as a non-compliance. Review and create. This will get created when I click on create. Right. So we have got definitions. If you want to see the list of rules, a list of policies which are built in on this subscription, on any of your subscriptions, you can come back to this definition section. Whether it is a built-in or custom, whatever it is, you can have a filter here, custom and then built-in. So as of now, I don't have any custom policies defined on the subscription. If you want to define based on the category, let's say I want to get policies only for my servers. I mean, I don't want to go for any other services apart from security center or apart from virtual machines. I'll just filter only these options and go ahead and proceed with this.